Prime Minister Rowley's initiatives, pre-general election gimmicks or genuine reform. An editorial by Professor Wall Street. As Trinidad and Tobago approaches another general election, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has introduced a series of initiatives, from the removal of colonial symbols like the 3 Columbus ships from the national coat of arms to promises of constitutional reform. However, a closer examination raises serious concerns about whether these moves are genuine attempts at reform or merely pre-election gimmicks designed to sway voters. Here are 10 reasons why these initiatives may be more about political maneuvering than meaningful change. 1. Timing of the initiatives. The most significant indicator that these actions are election gimmicks is their timing. These initiatives are being rolled out just before a general election, similar to how promises of local government reform were made before the last local elections and ultimately went unfulfilled. 2. Lack of public consultation. Major changes like altering the coat of arms or constitutional reform should involve extensive public consultation. The sudden announcement of these initiatives without broad-based discussion suggests they are more about creating a political spectacle than engaging with the people's genuine concerns. 3. Track record of unfulfilled promises. Dr. Rowley's administration has a history of making grand promises before elections that failed to materialize afterward. The much-touted local government reform is a prime example, where promises were made to enhance local governance, but no substantial changes followed once the elections were over. 4. Symbolic gestures. Over substantive change. While the removal of colonial symbols might have symbolic importance, it does little to address the pressing socio-economic issues facing the country. It appears to be a distraction from the real problems that need solving, such as crime, unemployment, and the state of the economy. 5. Political messaging. These initiatives seem carefully crafted to appeal to nationalist sentiments and to distract from the government's shortcomings. By focusing on changing symbols, the government can avoid addressing more challenging policy issues that require long-term commitment and resources. 6. No clear plan for implementation. The announcements have been made, but there has been little clarity on how these changes will be implemented. Without a clear, transparent plan, these initiatives risk being nothing more than empty promises intended to garner votes. 7. Absence of legislative framework. Major constitutional reforms require a robust legislative framework and consensus. However, there has been no substantial movement in Parliament to initiate these reforms, suggesting that these promises are not backed by the political will necessary to see them through. 8. Recycling old ideas. Some of the proposed reforms, such as changes to the Constitution, are not new and have been discussed in various forms for years without any action. Reintroducing them now, on the eve of an election, raises suspicions that they are being used as a tool to gain political advantage rather than a genuine effort at reform. 9. Failure to address root causes. Removing colonial symbols and monuments may have emotional appeal, but it does not address the root causes of the country's issues. True leadership would focus on systemic reforms that tackle the underlying challenges facing the nation, rather than superficial changes. 10. Lack of follow-through on prior commitments. Dr. Rowley's government has previously made several commitments that were never fulfilled. This pattern of behavior undermines the credibility of the current promises and suggests that these new initiatives may similarly be abandoned once the elections are over. In conclusion, while the initiatives proposed by Prime Minister Rowley might appear to be steps towards progress, the timing, lack of consultation, and history of unfulfilled promises suggest that they are more likely pre-election gimmicks designed to distract and deceive the electorate. The people of Trinidad and Tobago deserve more than symbolic gestures. They deserve real, substantive change that addresses the nation's pressing challenges.